There's absolute chaos going on in the Bears organization right now. Coming off of 4 straight losses, we're going to need a miracle at this point, an act of God to somehow make the playoffs. What's up, guys? I'm back with the Bears prediction videos. I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter than usual because there's not a lot of interest right now in the Bears community. I've noticed all the Bears YouTubers, including me, our views are down a lot from last year because obviously when your team starts to play this bad, your fans are not going to have that much interest in the team anymore. Obviously, we are still all Bears fans, but are we really going to watch hype videos or highlight videos when we're playing like this? Absolutely not. So I don't blame you guys for not watching that much, but this is about as bad of an offense as I've ever seen in my entire life. Even counting like high school football, pee-wee football. I mean, I've seen pee-wee teams move the ball better than we do, okay, with more creative plays, better scheming, because if you just look at our offense right now and even compare it to like the John Fox years, the Lovie Smith years, any era in Bears history, I don't think I've ever seen an offense this freaking horrible in my entire life. And that's saying so much because we're Bears fans, man. We're used to seeing horrible offenses, horrible quarterbacks, and great defenses not being able to pick up the slack because our offense being so god awful. We're used to seeing that. But how come it's been worse than all those previous years, okay? That just absolutely boggles my mind because going into this year, we thought that Matt Nagy was some offensive genius. We thought that Mitch Trubisky was on the way up. We thought our offensive line was actually pretty good, a top 10 unit maybe. But all of that has completely changed this year. Every part of our offense has regressed severely. Mitch Trubisky has regressed severely as a quarterback. Matt Nagy is not the same smart play caller he was last year. At least it's seeming like it based on the results we're getting. And our team is in complete chaos right now. And we're going to need some type of miracle. We're going to have to win out at this point to actually make the playoffs because I don't think 10-6 is going to get you to the playoffs. 11-5 probably will, but 10-6 probably not. And do you guys think we can actually win out with an offense playing like this? My heart says maybe, but my head says absolutely not. But I am a Bears fan. I'm not going to lose all hope until we are mathematically eliminated. So don't think I'm losing all hope yet. I still have a teeny tiny bit of hope that somehow we can turn it around because maybe there is a chance, Crazier things have happened. Maybe we do go on an 8-game winning streak to end the season. Mitch Trubisky somehow becomes amazing. Matt Nagy turns it all around. Our offensive line turns it all around as well. But obviously that's very wishful thinking right now. That's being too overly optimistic. There's practically no chance of that happening. But there is still a teeny tiny bit of a chance, okay? And I'm going to hang on to that teeny tiny bit until we are mathematically eliminated. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lions now, a team that's sitting at 3-4-1. So they're not doing that much better than the Bears right now, but they've honestly looked a lot better than the Bears in the games they've played so far because they could have been the Chiefs. In that game, they kept up with the Chiefs until the very last second. And the Packers, they should have beaten as well if they did not get robbed by the referees. So this Lions team is honestly a lot better than it seems on paper. And don't think it's, poor record. It doesn't indicate that much about how the team is playing because overall the team still has a very capable offense and it's going to be a tough matchup for the Bears being at Soldier Field. But let's get into the 3 keys to a Bears victory. Key number 1 is to score a touchdown within the first 2 drives. If the Bears go out there and they score a touchdown on their first or second drive, that early in the game, that could potentially change the course of our entire season right there because it would put a level of confidence in this offense that they don't have at all right now. The entire offense just looks scared. They don't look there's no cohesion at all. There's no faith in all in this Bears offense right now. And if they go into Soldier Field and actually score that early in the game, that could change our season because bad starts on offense have really doomed this team, this entire season. We've only scored a touchdown on our first drive 1 time in 8 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, and those bad starts, they doom us near the end of games because, we're losing by such close margins because we didn't score at all in the beginning of the game. So if we can actually go down the field and score early, which is going to be a very tall task, but it's definitely doable because this Lions defense is just god awful, okay? They're near the bottom in almost every category. If we can do that, that might actually change a lot. Key number 2 is that our defensive line needs to shut down the run throughout the entire game. Look, guys, over the past few games, our defensive line has not had the best of showing, okay, because we've allowed a lot of rushing yards, over 100 in pretty much all of our games without Akeem Hicks. So the loss of Akeem Hicks has really been hurting us a lot so far. But I still think that we have so much talent on this line that it should be able to, like, it's not as bad as it all seems, okay? I think the reason why we're doing so bad lately is because, I mean, a big part of it is because our offense is so bad. So our defense being on the field for so long, it's going to wear them down. It's going to make it tough for them to, get off the field when they're, when the offense is constantly going 3 and out. What can the defense really do about that? So it's going to be a really tough task, but with the talent we have on this defense, and especially the defensive line, we should be able to do it. The Lions are without the star running back, Kerryon Johnson, but they're currently doing a running back by committee approach with all the remaining running backs, and it seems to be working so far. So the Lions definitely do have somewhat of a run game, but it's not as good as it can be with Kerryon Johnson. So we're lucky that Kerryon is not playing. So with these, lesser running backs, we really need to shut them down, and we need to make Matt Stafford in this Lions offense really one-dimensional. When you make an offense like this one-dimensional, that's when you can get your pass rush going. That's when you get sacks, when you get QB hits. So we need to make this offense one-dimensional. And the crowd, being out there in Soldier Field, the crowd needs to be loud and help out our defense as well. And key number 3 is that our secondary needs to win the battle against these Lions receivers. The Lions receivers are ridiculously stacked right now, and that's mainly because of 2 people at the top. Okay, Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones Jr., they both look like stars right now. They've combined for 1,175 yards and 13 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that's more than all the Bears receivers combined. So they definitely have, a duo they can both be superstars. So our cornerbacks, our secondary, they really have to look out for that, and they have to win their one-on-one battles. They need to do well, and I'm fully confident they can do well, at least limit them somewhat, because our passing defense so far, it's second in the NFL in yards per catch, 11th in opposing passer rating. So we still have a really good secondary, okay? But it's going to be up to them, up to Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, all the dudes on the secondary to limit this receiving core, because if Matt Stafford and their passing game goes off, it's going to be a long game for us. So there you have it. Those are my 3 keys to Bears victory. Now let's get to my score prediction. And I'm picking the Chicago Bears to beat the Detroit Lions by a score of 14-13 at Soldier Field, to finally snap their losing streak, to finally win a game for the first time since September. And the reason I say this is because I think this will be a type of game where our defense just dominates from start to finish, okay? I think that our entire defense right now, they're so angry. If you look at Eddie Jackson, you look at Kyle Fuller, if you look at Khalil Mack, okay, all the stuff they say in their interviews, they are really angry at how the season's turning out so far. And obviously the offense has mainly been at fault so far, but our defense also shares, some of the blame, because they have not been the same defense that they were last year. They've kind of regressed under Chuck Pagano, and I'm sure these, with the pride we have on this defense, they're not going to take that criticism lightly, okay? They want to be the best. It's all going to start with Khalil Mack. It's all going to start with our pass rush, but our secondary needs to show up as well. Our defensive line really needs to step up, because our run defense has really suffered over the past couple weeks with Akeem Hicks being gone. I mean, obviously I knew that Akeem Hicks had a big impact on this team, but I thought that we had studs all over the D-line that could fill in for him, but that has not been the case so far. So Roy Robertson-Harris, Nick Williams, all the boys up front, they need to do a better job at stopping the run. And Chuck Pagano, with his play calling, he needs to be a little bit better, because I feel like he's not doing as good of a job as Vic Fangio was last year. But overall, this defense is going to carry this team to victory, because clearly our offense has shown that they are not capable of doing it. So the defense is going to take matters into their own hands, and they're going to win this game for us. The MVP of this game is going to be Leonard Floyd, and I'm saying that because he had a pretty good showing in the last game. I think he builds off of that and has 2 sacks in this one. And I think our pass rush overall, including Khalil Mack, it's going to do very well in this game, because they are all, hungry for sacks. They're all hungry for fumbles, because over the past couple games, our pass rush has not been the same as it has been in the first couple weeks. And a lot of that is because, teams are getting the ball off a little bit faster, and, the interior of our defensive line has not been the same with Akeem Hicks being gone. But I think that their pride is on the line at this point. I think that Leonard Floyd is going to show up. He's going to get to Matt Stafford twice. But that's going to wrap up my video. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this game. If you think the Bears can win, if you think we're going to lose, who you think the MVP is going to be, and so on. But overall, guys, I just want to say that please don't lose all hope yet, okay? I know that we're on a 4-game losing streak. It seems like nothing is going right. it seems like we have no shot at making the playoffs at all, but there is still somewhat of a chance. So don't lose that hope until it's all gone, okay? Because I know all the players in Hallis Hall, they all still believe in themselves, even though it doesn't seem like it from the outside looking in. So I know I'm being overly optimistic here, but have some level of hope left because maybe somehow we can go on an 8-game winning streak and shock the world and make the playoffs. I know it's not likely at all, but screw it. We're Bears fans. We support this team no matter what until the very end. So this season has been so disappointing beyond any words I could say, but have some faith left, guys. It's not over yet. Bear down.